So the Premier League is actually eating up, guys. Round 30 is looking like it's going to be interesting. First Premier League week of action after the international break. We already saw the FA Cup action over the weekend, and everything is coming thick and fast. But first up, we have an interesting game at the Emirates, the London Derby, if you like to call it. Arsenal will take on Fulham in a game that is expected to be rather tricky for both sides. But Victor, do you think Arsenal will come out on top in this London derby?
Yeah, most likely. I don't think it will be a landslide win, but it will probably be a win. Fulham, they're not necessarily easy to play against, but they've gone off the boil lately, and they've been a bit disappointing from my perspective. Um, it's true, the title's pretty much gone for Arsenal, but they will still want to do everything in their power to take advantage of any Liverpool slip-ups. So yeah, they'll winning. They're going to be winning this one.
Yeah, and still about Arsenal. Over the weekend, the good news for Arsenal fans was the fact that Bukayo Saka made his return to training, full training actually. And though he might not start against Fulham, but he's expected to get a couple minutes. Maybe comes in from the bench or something. How big do you think Saka's return is for Arsenal?
For this particular game, it's probably not big at all, to be honest. I look, everyone's been looking forward to his return, myself included. I rate the kid. I like seeing him play, but there's a lot of rust that he needs to shake off. He's been out, what, 3 months, almost four, something along those lines, right? I don't
Yeah.
think it's fair for people to expect him to get a hat trick of assists now in a 20-minute cameo off the bench. For our
Hmm.
predictions show, I was actually looking at odds for him to score or assist, and I didn't even come across his name on some website. So it's even possible that he won't even feature against Fulham. I hope he does though, and I hope he features against Everton at the weekend as well, because I'm sure Arteta will want him to have some game time before he throws him in at the deep end against Real Madrid next week. But yeah, I really don't think he'll play a big part in this game against Fulham.
Yeah, fair enough. And over to you, Matt. Crucial 3 points are up for grabs. 16th versus 17th place as the Wolves take on West Ham. Wolves look like the more stable side at the moment, although with these two teams, you really don't know what to expect. But yeah, who are you backing to take all 3 points?
Yeah, these two teams are actually hard to predict because we all saw how Wolverhampton won against Bournemouth on road, but next game they lose to Fulham at home. Same goes to West Ham while losing Brentford at home and winning on against Arsenal on road. So I feel like this game is gonna be pretty close, but probably the home crowd will probably help Wolverhampton. So if I have to pick a team to win, I'll probably go with Wolverhampton here.
Yeah, fair enough. And over to you, Victor. Forest will be facing Chris Wood for a while. And that is actually a major blow, to their top four aspirations. First of all, how big do you think they will miss the New Zealand man? And do you think they can also beat United without their key man?
Yeah, I mean, he's been one of the biggest parts of their success this season. It's undeniable, right? Of course, he'll be missed, and of course, it's big shoes to fill, especially when you factor in that Awoni doesn't have the best track record injury-wise. When
Mm,
it comes to the game against United, I think they'll still get at least a draw with or without Chris Wood. I believe it's one of our tips in the Telegram channel as well and the email newsletter. By the way, subscribe for those. Um, Forest, they have some very good players going forward, even when you disregard Chris Wood. I can also imagine Anthony Alanga. He'll probably want to rub some salt in the wounds of former employers. So yeah, I don't think that they'll lose to United. I think they'll get at least a draw. Besides, they're unbeaten in their last 10 games at home. It's really hard to imagine Amorim and his ragged bunch, we could call it at the moment, breaking that streak.
Yeah, fair enough. And over to you, Max. Bournemouth are also chasing an European spot. I mean, it seems like every team is chasing an European spot these days. And they'll be relishing the prospect of playing a team like Ipswich. I know we, even in our prediction video, myself and Victor called it, straightforward victory for Bournemouth. But do you think maybe there's a chance of an upset?
Yeah, so we all saw how Bournemouth did pretty bad for last games. They had 3 losses and 1 draw, but we all know how Ipswich bad on road, and even if they can score at least 1, I still see Bournemouth scoring 2 or 3 or maybe even more, so it shouldn't be even close.
Yeah, fair enough. And Victor, I know we already sort of discussed this one in our prediction video, but this question is probably more emphasis on that. Aston Villa, they are enjoying themselves at the moment, high on confidence, Champions League doing well, FA Cup, off to the semi-final as well. What kind of game can we expect against Brighton?
Based on odds, as we've discussed, Villa are actually the outsiders in this one, which is surprising to say the least. This one will probably be quite an open game and quite entertaining. It's definitely on my watch list for this match day, along with the Merseyside derby and a couple of others. Might be a 3-4 games at a time type of situation, but I think this one will be very entertaining and quite open. As far as predictions goes, as you mentioned, yeah, I see Villa winning, but I think we'll see some, maybe not necessarily that many goals, but a lot of goal mouth action.
Yeah, fair enough. I actually think the same. I think it's going to be an entertaining game, even if it doesn't produce goals. And I think it's going to be something that we're going to enjoy. But yeah, I'm still backing Aston Villa to win, like we said in the prediction video. And it'll be interesting to see how that one comes out. And yeah, that's all we have in this video. Round 30 promises to come, and it promises to be exciting as well. Arsenal fans will be looking forward to see the return of Bukayo Saka. Whether or not he might play remains a mystery. Nottingham Forest, they'll be without Chris Wood, and now they have to perform without their star man. Bournemouth to be pushing for their European spot, and we expect them to beat Ipswich. But then football is football; anything can happen. And Aston Villa will also be looking to defeat Brighton, despite what the odds are saying. And everything points to another interesting round of action. And we must add that this is midweek fixture, anyways. We always have some funny results in midweek, so keep an eye out for this one. And of course, we'll be here to discuss all the best talking points after the games are done.